No DQ Galaxy, we are live with predictions for the ultimate thrill ride, the greatest extravaganza in sports entertainment, the granddaddy of them all. Stupendous WrestleMania 40 from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. We have a great panel tonight to give our predictions for WrestleMania Saturday.
Sounds like a plan.
Sounds good by me. And
you guys hearing an echo?
Here I am, you talking about the greatest event in sports entertainment. I thought you were going to talk about All In. So I'm walking out.
All right, well, let's go around and get everyone's overall thoughts on WrestleMania Saturday. We actually have a full card and apparently the order for WrestleMania Saturday. Dave, I'm going to start with you. The Rocket, you are a former Wrestling Trivia Challenge champion. Welcome back to the No DQ panel. It's been a while since we've had you on. On a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you for WrestleMania Saturday specifically? And do you have a favorite match, a least favorite match? What are your overall thoughts on the show?
Well, I'm looking forward to it all. I mean, just the fact that everything was leaked out yesterday, but well, not leaked out, but announced by Triple H as to what matches we're going to see on each of the days, or both Saturday and Sunday. Saturday is very stacked, I dare say, in every sense of the word. There's a lot of matches there that could go either way. I was particularly looking forward to the Uso match, Jamie versus Jey. I would have not done one thing that they've done in the build-up, but that's down to personal preference. I would have that's the match I'm looking forward to the most, because I feel it could be a Brett versus Owen kind of thing. But I dare say I would have not had them come out 1 and 2 in the Rumble. I would have just saved the first time that they brawl. I would have waited till Mania. Maybe I'm old school in that sense. But overall, I mean, there's a lot of matches there. I'm looking at it right now, so excuse me if I'm looking at the screen. But I mean, I'm really looking forward to that Women's World Championship match between Rhea, Ripley, and Becky Lynch. I think that could be, maybe it could top Rhea's match with Charlotte last year, potentially. But I think the match ultimately that everyone's looking forward to, and I think I'm probably not in the minority here, it's definitely The Rock and Roman Reigns versus Seth and Cody.
Yep, I think I'm with you on that one. So on a scale of 1 to 10, your excitement level for night one?
I just say it's a 10 right now. I think it's stacked in every sense of the word.
All right, and we'll throw it over now to my brother-in-law, Mike, who's joining us from Saginaw, Michigan. Mike, how's it going? How you feeling about WrestleMania Saturday?
Doing well and feeling well about I'm not going to go a 10 because that only leads to possible disappointment, because if you rated a 10 going in, I think you can only be disappointed. I'm going a solid 8. And if you look at the card that you sent out to us for our discussion tonight, night one, boy, the main events better deliver on Sunday, because I think the Saturday card, much like last year, I think the Saturday card, like if somebody said, hey, I got tickets to one night, you can't go to both. Which night are you going to? I'm going to Saturday, I think. So, I mean, if any of those main events on Sunday fizzle out, I think Sunday could be a little bit of a clunker. But for night one, I'm going a solid 8. With the match, obviously, I've been on No DQ before. The match I'm looking forward to is Rhea. I think she's arguably the best worker in the business, from her facials, her ring, the way she talks, the way she acts. I actually think she's one of the best workers in the business, and that's the match. And if the order you sent us is the order they do it, if she drops the title, I might be dropping the pay-per-view right out of the chute.
Now, Mike, TJS is a young man, and he made an expression when you said facial. So to clarify,
well, actually, yeah, because come on, TJS. Now she'd be on the receiving end the way you're thinking. I'm talking the ring work. I'm talking the ring work that old school. Like when she takes a bump, you actually believe that, wow, that really hurt, because she gets thrown to the ground, or either the ground or the ring, and it's like, and she really sells it like, man, that really hurt. So that, and I think every aspect of her stuff is perfect. But I'm biased. So
All right. So thank you, Mike. And we'll throw it over now to TJS over in Arkansas. How's it going, TJS?
Yes, doing all right. Can't believe it's already WrestleMania time again. I actually was just watching last year's predictions that we did for night one, and fun times. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the show. To be honest, though, I'm a little bummed that we didn't get Lesnar Punk. Not Lesnar versus Punk, but Lesnar Punk, and then there were some others that matches that were speculated that we're not getting. So little bummed about that, but I think they've done a great job with what they've got, and I won't go with 10 either. If Brock and Punk were on this card, maybe it would be a 10, but I'm gonna say 8.5. I think is where I'm sitting with this for night one. And yeah, the match that I'm most looking forward to, it's got to be that tag match, main event.
Absolutely. And I agree with Mike. Like, I think if we had Gunther versus Brock Lesnar on this show and Seth Rollins versus CM Punk, like that would have made WrestleMania an absolute 10 out of 10. But for what it is, I give it a 9 out of 10. Now, I want to throw it over to Greg, who is coming to us in London. And big thanks to Greg and Dave. They're way out there in Europe. Greg is in London. It's like, almost midnight. And then in Gibraltar, where Dave is, it's almost 1 o'clock. So thank you guys so much for being on at this late hour over there. Greg, how you feeling about WrestleMania?
Oh, yeah. Thanks for having me again. For what is biggest night of the year. Yeah, it's always the most exciting night. Usually it's the Rumble, which is causes all sort of chaos, but WrestleMania it's massive this year. It's the different matches we have and the possibilities, what could happen from night one to night two, just makes it even more exciting. But I'm going with a solid 9. I think Mike is right. Let's not get too excited and give it a 10 before it all happens. And if it wasn't for the likes of Punk not being on the card, obviously I'm a big Punk fan. So if we had gotten like Punk and Rollins, then it would have been a solid card. Yeah, looking forward to the tag team match. It's just going to be crazy. The atmosphere is going to be crazy. We might have like a Rock Hogan type moment when all 4 of them are in the ring, sort of like looking at each other. And that's just night one. So and I've been looking at the schedule for the week. Like, my God, there's so much going on. You got both the nights. You got Stand and Deliver on the Saturday, the Hall of Fame on the Friday. God knows what happened to SmackDown on the Friday. Just whatever, the Battle Royal. But so much over the weekend. Yeah, I'm excited and ready to talk predictions.
All right. And last but not least, we got Big G, who is in Pennsylvania. And as you can imagine, he will be making that short drive. He is not too far from Philadelphia. He will be going in person for WrestleMania, representing No DQ. Reach out to him on social media if you guys want to meet up with him and Walter Cruz before WrestleMania. Big G, you're going live, so you might have a little bit of a bias. How are you feeling about WrestleMania?
So I'm going both nights, and I would look at the card for both nights, and night one looks more stacked than night two. Let's be honest. For me, I'm going overtime. I'm going 100 because I'm going to be there in person. I'm there for the atmosphere. I'm there for the matches. I'm there to meet people from No DQ. If you follow me on Facebook at Jeff Filtel, Aaron sent out the link to shared the event. It's going to be Sunday, April 7th at 1 p.m. at the Xfinity Live Center right there in the whole sports center, because you got Lincoln Financial, you got where you got Wells Fargo, and then you got where they play baseball, and it's right there. So it's all in the location. Honestly, I'm looking forward to 2 matches on Saturday. It's obviously the tag match, because this is the first time I'm going to see The Rock live in person, and the ladder match, because this will be my first ladder match live in person as well. So
awesome. All right.
Hopefully
Thank you, Big
hopefully
G.
they don't cluster up the ladder match.
Yeah, I mean, it should be entertaining. It should be a spectacle, and I am looking forward to the tag match with The Rock most over everything. Let's get to these predictions now. We got 7 matches for WrestleMania Saturday, and I am going to go in the order that is rumored for the show. So we're going to start off with a big match here. We got the Raw Women's Championship, the World Heavyweight Championship, whatever they're calling it. We got Rhea Ripley, who has been champion now for a full year. She will be defending her championship against Becky Lynch. And I think this is going to be a hell of a match. Becky Lynch has publicly stated that she wanted to open up the show, started off on a high note. So what is going to happen here? Will Rhea Ripley's lengthy title run finally come to an end, or will it continue? Let's get everyone's thoughts on this one. And chat room, leave your thoughts, leave your predictions, leave your theories. I will put up some of the comments on the screen. Big G, I'm going to throw it right back over to you and get your thoughts. Will Becky Lynch become women's champion once again? What do you think is going to happen?
Yeah, this should be a good match. Like you said, Rhea has been champ for a whole year now. The match with her and Charlotte last year was one of the best matches that I've seen in WWE in like the past 5 years, let's say. God, I don't know. I mean, I want Rhea to retain to continue this lengthy reign, but in WWE now we've had so many long title reigns with Roman, Gunther, Rhea, and Seth Rollins. But then Becky, on the other hand, no. I'm going to go with my gut here. I mean, like, I don't care who wins or who loses, but I'm going to go with Rhea to retain.
All right, Rhea Ripley to retain the title. Greg, I will throw it over to you next with your thoughts.
Yeah, I am actually going to go with the same. Obviously, yeah, Rhea's had it for a year now. You can't say it's been the most exciting, exhilarating title defense, seen as, I don't know, I can't really remember too many of her title defenses. I know she's had the whole story of Judgment Day and she's been mommy and in charge of the whole group and stuff, but since Charlotte, since last year, she hasn't really had like a standout match where I can be like, wow, she's the champion. She's one of the best on the roster. So this match needs to be good. She needs to beat her, not convincingly, but have a good win. I don't think Becky needs the belt. Like, I don't know. She's there just to put another notch on the belt of Rhea to make her look.
He froze.
All right, well, we lost Greg, but he did basically agree with you, Big G, so we're going to go with that. If we gain him back, we'll see if he wanted to add anything to that. TJS, we'll throw it over to you now with your thoughts. Try not to freeze on us.
Well, it's 78 degrees here in Arkansas, so I will not be freezing. I wish I cared more about this match, to be honest. I said it last year. Becky she just doesn't stand out that much to me. I've never been that impressed with her, and I'm sure that these two are going to have a good match, but I don't know. Becky just makes me cringe. That her character makes me cringe, and I guess that's the best way I could put it. So I think that Rhea's going to retain, of course, but even though I don't like Becky, I know a lot of people do, and WWE does. So I'm wondering if Rhea beats Becky, which I'm predicting that she will. Where does Becky go from there? I don't know, but I think Rhea's going to retain. I think she's going to be the only successful member of the Judgment Day this weekend. So no spoilers for my other predictions, but I definitely think Rhea's retaining. And yeah, I mean, it'll be a good match, but I'm more interested in the aftermath of this than I am the match itself.
Okay, we'll throw it over now to Mike with his thoughts on this match. I know he's a big Rhea Ripley fan, so Mike, go ahead.
All right, and for all my picks, I'm not in the business like all of you guys are. So I will go picking with my heart. I'm picking how I would book it if I was, little Tony Khan here in Saginaw, Michigan. But I am going to take Rhea Ripley because I think if they're going to invest in Jade Cargill, I think that's the match, maybe like SummerSlam. That's who would take it off Rhea, if anybody. Although it has concerned me, and you guys are in the know, maybe you can calm my nerves a little bit. The last couple appearances for Rhea, have you noticed it's like a soft cast? Is she injured, or is it like the little maybe carpal tunnel tendonitis, or because she never used to wear that soft cast? In the last 2 or 3 times she's been on, she's had it.
She mentioned something about her wrist when she was on the MMA Hour.
Okay, so now, like, if she's injured, that's how they could get the belt off her. But I'm going to pretend I don't know that, and my pick is Rhea Ripley. And like I said, if she loses, I may not be watching anymore in WrestleMania.
All right, we'll now throw it over to David with his thoughts on this match. So far, everyone's going with Rhea. Are you going to continue that trend?
Well, I'm continuing the trend for sure. I think. I'm going to agree with TJS here. I wish I cared more because I love both women. But I think until last week when she had that promo with Dominik being involved and everything else, there hasn't really been much of a build up towards it. They haven't made it. I just say they haven't made it a bigger deal than what it is. But I think it's one of those where maybe less build up and then the match is going to surprise us eventually, because I think it will. It could be potentially the match of the night for I mean, Becky, I was very worried last year about Rhea versus Charlotte, and that ended up being one of the matches of the night and the weekend. So I just say this could be the same thing, but the only difference is I do think that Rhea will beat Becky. Where does Becky go from here? Maybe I think if she could get drafted to SmackDown, because there will be a draft eventually. I think a draft move to SmackDown will benefit Becky eventually, and then Jade could eventually go to Raw, like rightfully said. So a lot of opportunities there, but I do feel Rhea deserves to walk out WrestleMania as champion.
All right, thank you for that. We have a couple of super chats. Shout out to the This Guy Experience. He said, I am skipping this match. Rhea is my girl. Becky isn't. So you're going to skip the opening match of WrestleMania 40. I mean, come on now.
What are you going to sit in the toilet and not watch it?
Wow. He's like, WrestleMania is starting. Oh, I'm going to go take a bathroom break. No, you're going to be watching it just like everybody else. So don't give me that. But thank you for the super chat. And Jeremy sent in a $2 super chat. He says, did Rock move into Mount Rushmore because Becky is boring, or plus Becky is boring? Why did Rock move to Mount Rushmore? I'm not getting that reference.
The 4 greatest.
Oh, you mean, yeah, just like you do the Mount Rushmore on your podcast. I mean, he's been on the Mount Rushmore of wrestling as far as I'm concerned.
He's not on mine, but.
Oh, none of mine either, actually.
But
wow.
Before you give your pick on this match, I could turn this into the Rhea Ripley hours, but I won't. But everybody's saying her title defense has been lackluster. I think that's because she's that much better than everybody. It's hard to have good match. I mean, she had that epic match with Charlotte, and then Charlotte got hurt, so they can't really do a rematch with her because she's hurt. Yeah. And then there really is. I mean, who are they going to put her against? Io Sky, somebody from Damage Control. I mean, so that's I think it's unfair to say it's been lackluster because she doesn't have any competition. And as far as not wrestling much, Roman Reigns never wrestles. He's the hottest thing in the business.
That's
fair enough.
All they say.
All right, I'm done defending. I'm done defending Rhea. We can move on.
All right, Greg, anything you want to add? Because we lost you there for a few minutes.
I just don't know. When did you lose me? Did I make my prediction?
You did make your prediction. You said Rhea, so.
Yeah, I'm sticking with that. I think she just needs a solid win, and God knows she might even turn into like the next sort of the female Reigns and keeping it for like another year or something. You really don't know. So.
It is pouring rain here right now, so hopefully I don't lose you guys. But I am going to go the one man out with predictions here.
Whoa.
My gut feeling when I was first talking about this match 6 or 7 months ago, and I was thinking this was going to be the WrestleMania match, I'm like, Becky's going to be the one that dethrones Rhea Ripley. And I know it's not popular with some of the internet. I've seen comments here, Becky's boring. Her run is past its prime. I've seen all these comments, but that's the thing. I think she needs the title right now more than Rhea Ripley. And if Rhea Ripley beats Becky Lynch, where does both of them go? Where does Rhea Ripley go? She really has nobody else to face on Monday Night Raw unless they get a major name from SmackDown over in a draft. I think Becky's going to win the title. I know it's not that popular, but they can do a big rematch. Rhea can try to win the title back. Maybe Rhea moves to SmackDown. I think Becky's going to win. That was my gut feeling 6 months ago, and I'm sticking with it. I think we're going to have a title change here. Becky Lynch kicks off WrestleMania as the new champion. I'm the one person with the different pick, so we'll see how it goes. Now, let's move on to our next match. This one will be fun. It's going to be a lot of action. It's going to be a lot of chaos. Hopefully it's not too much of a train wreck. We have our 6-pack tag team title challenge. 6 teams, Judgment Day defending the tag team titles in a ladder match. Now, what was very interesting about this was that Michael Cole on commentary said that the match ends when both sets of titles are grabbed from the top of the ladder. That might be a little clue that something's going to happen here. Maybe one team grabs the red titles, one team grabs the blue titles, and we have the titles split again. Real quick here, Jeremy sent in a $2 super chat, says, move back to California, Aaron. It's gorgeous. Miss it? I do not miss the traffic. The traffic is horrible in California. Just too many people. Way too many people. But I do miss the sunshine. Although when I was out in California the other month, it was raining half the time, so didn't really escape it. Anyways, tag team ladder match. What we're gonna do for this one is everybody gets 2 picks, and in our predictions league, if your team wins, you'll get a point, regardless of which team you picked. The thing for this match is we're going to have a bonus point. And Noah Foster, I'll make sure to let you know about this. The bonus point is, will there be a separation of the tag titles? Will 2 teams leave with tag team titles? Will one team leave with one set? Will the other team with another set? That will be the bonus point, yes or no. So, Mike, I will start with you on this one. Give us 2 teams you think will win, and then yes or no, do you think the titles will split in this match? Go ahead.
Yes, only because why announce it if they're not going to split them? Why say that it's got to be won separately, blah, 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 if you're not going to split it? So Judgment Day loses, and Waller, in theory, get 1 set, which I believe would be the SmackDown belts because they're SmackDown, right? Yes. And then R-Truth and The Miz, and that'll be the end of Judgment Day because R-Truth wanting to be in Judgment Day and the thing they've done there. And Judgment Day was hot last year going into SummerSlam, and then they've almost turned him into a joke, really. I mean, if you think about it, and Priest is the Money in the Bank holder. So I think Judgment Day is done. So I'll put Miz and Truth with 1 set, and then Theory and Waller with the other set.
All right. Now we'll throw it over to Big G. Big G, your thoughts on this one?
Oh, yeah. So, yes, I'm going with the titles will be separated. Mike pretty much took my answers. I was going to go with Awesome Truth for the Raw titles, and you have to go with the heel team and for SmackDown, and I'm Waller and Grayson Waller and Austin Theory for SmackDown. Hopefully it should be a fun match, like I said at the beginning of the show. This is my first ladder match in person, so it'll be hopefully a spectacle to see. So, but yeah, Awesome Truth and Grayson and Theory.
All right, and now we will throw it over to TJS.
Well, I am interested to see how they're going to have, 6 teams? So 12 people in a ladder match. Like this could get messy. I think the Judgment Day needs to lose those tag titles, but I don't think they're going to. Yeah, I think I mentioned earlier that I think Rhea is going to be the only successful Judgment Day member. I'm backtracking now. I think that the Judgment Day will retain, but Awesome Truth will also pull down a set of tag titles, and this will lead to the split. So Awesome Truth goes to SmackDown with the SmackDown tag titles, and then Judgment Day stays on Raw by retaining. Judgment Day needs to lose the titles, but Triple H really likes them because they have so much TV time. Yeah, Judgment Day retains, and Awesome Truth goes to SmackDown, and they do split the titles.
All right, we'll throw it over now to David. David, let's get your thoughts.
Okay, so I think I echo Mike and I echo Jeff here. I do feel Awesome Truth needs to win the tag team titles. I think the momentum on Truth has been incredible. And I think the fact that the nostalgia involved with him and The Miz, I think that's going to play a lot in their favor. Where most people are going to want them to win, and mostly because it gives The Miz something to do. I mean, he needs to cement a babyface run for a while, I think. And him and Truth working together again works to a certain level. SmackDown tag team titles, I do think same thing. Grayson Waller and Austin Theory needs to win those tag team titles because I feel SmackDown needs a very good heel tag team. I mean, they are a very good team together, and they complement each other in a very good, different way. And they're very similar, but they're very different at the same time. So, but at the same time, I think they work well together. It would only epitome and maybe launch them to the big time. I think Austin Theory, they've learned the lesson where he was given the money back way too soon. Maybe they would have waited a little bit more. But momentum was in the right place, I suppose. But anyway, that's another story altogether. But I do think it will go down to Grayson Waller and Austin Theory winning the SmackDown tag team titles. Awesome Truth will win the Raw. They will split them, and I call it, maybe they'll say something at the kickoff show about maybe the fact they either split the belts or they merge them together like their women's tag team titles where they could be on both shows.
All right, thank you for that. And I am going to say yes, they will split the titles. I feel like that commentary line was done for a reason. I agree about Austin Theory and Grayson Waller winning for the SmackDown side, and then for the Raw side. I hate to say this because I want this to happen, by the way. I hope I'm wrong. I want Awesome Truth to win, but for some reason, I don't think it's going to happen. So I'm going with DIY to be the other team to win because they're Triple H's guys. Triple H, NXT, the black and gold. They're his boys. This is going to be their big moment. I want Awesome Truth to win, though, for the feel-good moment, but I'll believe it when I see it. I think they're gonna go with the established guys that are the serious team. As much as I'd like to see Miz and R-Truth, I believe it when I see it. So DIY, Austin Theory, Grayson Waller, there will be a split. And now we'll throw it over to Greg and get your thoughts.
Yeah, I'm going to sound like a broken record because I'm going to copy or agree with most of the panel because, yes, I think they're splitting it. Mike was right. Why say that line 5 days out if it's not going to happen? So I predicted this a couple of days ago anyway because I thought they were going to do it. And that's Theory and Waller to take the SmackDown belts and Awesome Truth to take the Raw. I do think they're going to split Judgment Day and we're going to have the whole breakout or break apart on the Raw after Mania. So not too sure what they'll do going forward with the tag belts, but I think we need some on each show to sort of just help because we have a lot of tag teams lately, and I feel like they've just been fighting each other for no reason. So give them some belts to fight over, something to.
All right, Big G. Anything you wanted to add?
I was just gonna say, is there? I'm gonna take it with a grain of salt, but is there any truth to the whole Grayson Waller and Austin Theory being removed from this ladder match?
It was from Dave Meltzer, so you'll have to decide.
Yeah, I'm gonna take it with a grain of salt.
Plans may change, but they also may not.
All right, so there you have it. I think we got the gist of Greg's prediction. Hopefully he'll be back. He's having some technical difficulties. Shout out to Walter Cruz, who sent in $5. Thank you, Walter. Appreciate it. Says, guarantee since R-Truth is so damn goofy and it's in character, he will mess up and grab one blue and one red belt, and that will be hilarious. Hey, there you go. Maybe that's going to be the moment here. That's going to be the spot. We'll see what happens. I'm sure R-Truth is going to do something funny in this match, as he tends to do. I think Greg is back with us. Welcome back, Greg. Hopefully we don't lose you again. And now we'll move on to our next match. On the WrestleMania card, we got ourselves a tag team match. Teddy Long would definitely approve of this one. We got Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee going up against Rey's son, Dominik Mysterio, and Santos Escobar. So, Greg, I think you're with us. Greg, I'm going to go right back to you on this one. Tag team match, Lucha Libre. What do you think is going to happen in this one?
I literally changed this prediction last minute because I was like, it's got to be a Rey and Dragon Lee. Then I thought, Rey beat his son last year. I think sort of Dom. I think he lost with Rey, didn't he, 2 years ago, or did they win? But I don't think Dom has had a WrestleMania win yet. No. So I think they're going to give that win to keep up.
All right. Well, there you have it from Greg. We'll throw it over now to TJS.
Well, unfortunately, this is one of the matches that I'm really. Oh, Greg, are you?
Yeah, I'm back, but I might have to change my thing, man, because I keep might have to quickly get out of here. I'll be back.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, like I said, this is one of the matches, probably the most least anticipated match for me. I don't know. I don't want to say it's filler because it's not. I guess it was just kind of random to have Dominik enter the storyline, but I think Greg made a good point. I think that Dominik, I mean, I don't want to say he's cooled off because he's still getting booed, but it doesn't seem like he's as prevalent as he once was. So I think that the heels are going to win here. And Rey did beat Dominik last year, like Greg said. So I'm going with the heels. And maybe Dominik leaves Judgment Day and ends up joining Legado. We'll see. But, yeah, I'm going with the heels, especially Andrade has been being teased to be joining Legado. So I think that is about to be the next big heel group. Like I said, might be taking Dominik away from Judgment Day. So heels win.
Well, I'm going to disagree with you on that one. I think Rey and Dragon Lee are going to win because Dragon Lee just joined the LWO. So he comes into the LWO and he's going to lose his first match as an official member of the LWO. Now, of course, Carlito could turn here, but I don't know if they're going to do that or not. Again, it might be a pivot. Maybe they weren't planning on that, but after SmackDown with that crowd reaction, maybe they're going to do something here. I think it might be too soon, though. I'm going to say Rey and Dragon Lee win, so Dragon Lee gets a win. They're trying to push him as the next Rey Mysterio. Santos, he's a great heel, but I don't think he's going to be that guy. Dragon Lee, however, I think they have a lot of big plans for him. So Rey and Dragon Lee win, and Dragon Lee gets the rub off of Rey. Go over to David now. David, your thoughts?
I'm going for Rey and Dragon Lee match win as well. I think it's more than anything else, like you rightfully said, Aaron. They're trying to push Dragon Lee to the moon, and he's been built to be potentially the next Rey Mysterio. We hear that from there. I think they've been looking for the next big Latin star for a very long time. And as I say, obviously, Eddie Guerrero left that void for a very long time to be filled, and nobody's been able to do that except Del Rio for a while. But anyway, back to the match. Rey and Dragon Lee need this win, I think, more than Santos and Dom do. But I think I would have liked to, maybe considering that they have so many members from both stables, maybe a big tag team match would have been great. I understand why they're not doing it, but I think a lot of interference and stuff like that could play a lot of favor into who ends up winning the match. But I do feel Ray and Dragon Lee deserve this win.
All right, Big G, we'll throw it over to you now.
Excuse me. Yeah, I am going with Dominik and Santos to win here. I feel like I mean, if you look at it, I mean, Rey Mysterio beat Dominik last year, and I feel like they're gonna continue the story on eventually later on down the road again. So Dominik has to get the win here, and they'll have another match between Rey and Dominik, maybe a hair versus mask match or something like that. So yeah, I'm going with the heels to win.
All right, Mike, we'll wrap this one up with you.
Ray and Lee for the win, and I think Lee covers somebody because like you said, Aaron, I think they want to put him over, and he's been on sporadically, and then he was off for a while, and now he's at WrestleMania put in as like, I don't want to say filler match, but that's kind of what it is a filler match because it wasn't even announced till like a couple days ago. But I'll say Lee pins somebody. More than likely Dom, because Dom seems to take the brunt of most of the falls.
I mean, I think that's a very, very valid opinion there on that match. So thank you for that, Mike. And now we will move on to, as David mentioned earlier, one of the most anticipated matches because it is brother versus brother. We had some great brother versus brother matches over the years. We had Bret Hart versus Owen Hart at WrestleMania 10, and now we got brother versus brother, Jey versus Jimmy Uso. Now, for me, the only negative to this match is that I feel like it cooled off. Like the storyline took too long to play out. Like they did the angle at SummerSlam with Jimmy turning against Jey, but then it was ended because they were on separate brands, and it just felt like it stretched out for too long, and they started building for the match too late to WrestleMania. Like I really feel like they should have pushed it stronger in January and really started to build the tension for it. So that to me is the only negative. As far as who I'm picking to win this one, I think Jimmy needs the win more. However, Jey is the hotter act, and Jey has a lot of momentum right now, and I say you got to keep that going. I'm torn on this one, though. I could really see it going either way. I think I may have mentioned this before, but I think that if they're going to keep the feud going, Jimmy should win. If this is a one and done and they're going to reunite after this, or they're going to go their separate ways, I think Jey should pick up the win. But I'm going to go with Jey. Not feeling super confident with this one, though. So, Mike, I'll throw it over back to you. Your thoughts on this one?
All right. Do not go to your local DraftKings or FanDuel or anything and bet on this, because this is my fan scenario. No way it happens. I think it would be good. I won't be on the night 2 predictions, so I'll give a little spoiler. I say Jimmy wins with some interference, and then Jey rejoins the bloodline and he interferes and costs Cody Sunday night, and that won't be bloodline because he's not in the bloodline as of yet. So I'm going to go Jimmy wins with some outside interference, which in turn will piss Jey off to turn on Sunday night. But for Saturday night, I will take Jimmy Uso.
All right. We'll throw it over now to Big Baller G.
Yeah, I mean, this should be a fun match. The build is kind of not lackluster, but, they kind of like stopped because, SummerSlam, and then I think Jey Uso cost him Jimmy cost Jey the U.S. title, and then Jimmy cost him the IC title not too long ago either. So you kind of have that, and then, the whole brotherly thing. So I'm going to go with Jey to get the win here. I don't see
All right.
Jey ever going back to the bloodline.
There you have it. And, this is in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Perfect city for a brother versus brother match. Greg is back with us. Greg, we're talking about Jimmy versus Jey Uso, brother versus brother. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, sorry about that. I have no idea what's going on over here. I'm going with Jey, mainly because Jey has been portrayed as like a singles guy over the last 6 months or whatever, compared to Jimmy, who's always been a tag guy, and I don't think has he had a singles match. I can't remember if he's had a singles match against, I don't know, anyone half decent. I'm just only concerned that Solo might help Jimmy, and then we get the whole because WrestleMania should be to end feuds or stories or whatever, but I feel like now half the time they start them, and I'm worried they might try and have these two feud for the next 2 or 3 months, Backlash and Clash at the Castle or whatever, and Jimmy will cheat and Jey will have to wait to get his win, but I think it'll be a great match because these two know each other inside and out. But I'm going for a Jey win, and then he can crack on Raw and maybe go for the IC title, depending on who has it.
All right, thank you for that, Greg. David, we'll go to you next.
Okay, so I think it's a match that could go either way. I mean, I think a lot of interference has been talked about. I mean, it's the bloodline at the end of the day. I mean, that's their way to try and cement and get themselves over. I dare say maybe it's a dark horse moment, I dare say, but what if maybe Solo's trying to interfere in the match and we get Tommaso everything and be on Jay's side? It is rumored that he's signed for WWE, or that he is on his way to WWE. So it's a possibility. I'm not ruling anything out. But I think it's like we're all in agreement that Jey needs to win. Jimmy, I think, could use the win, but I think if Jey is going to be built as this main event Jey Uso, that is his nickname after all. If he is going to be launched to the moon, similar to what we talked about Dragon Lee, I think Jey needs to win. And it only cements him as a single star.
I mentioned that he is hot right now, Jey Uso. Jimmy Uso's been losing a lot, but at this point, you might as well push the guy that has the momentum. So TJS, what are your thoughts on this one?
I think that this could go one of two ways. First, I think that it's possible that Jey just beats Jimmy, and then at the end of the match, they hug it out, city of brotherly love, all that. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think Jimmy will win because I think we'll get to this later, but I think they're really stacking the deck against Cody Rhodes and mentally also. So he's going to see that his friend lost. He's going to be distraught that his friend lost. And that's going to get in his head, and that's going to lead to my prediction for the main event. So, Jimmy is taking a lot of L's, but I think he'll pick up a W at WrestleMania over his brother. But, Aaron, I'm not really confident either. This might be one of the hardest ones to call on the card.
All right, thank you for that, TJS. And Jeremy sent in a $2 super chat. Thank you, Jeremy. Appreciate it. Says, wish this match had a stipulation, a violent buildup. Yeah, I mean, it would have been nice, to really settle this score, but maybe it's the start of a feud. And in that case, it would make more sense for Jimmy to win. We'll have to see if they keep it going or if they're going to make up. And Virtue brought up the possibility of them getting back together. So we'll see. I mean, it definitely could go in a lot of different directions. And Sean Garner sent in $5. Thank you very much for that, Sean. I appreciate it. Sean sent in a $5 super chat and said, Jey will not turn heel and Roman Reigns will lose to Cody. So Sean Garner is putting his money where his mouth is with that opinion. There you have it. We'll get to Roman Reigns here in just a few moments. Let's move on. We have a couple matches left to discuss. We have another tag match. We have a 6-woman tag team match. We have Jade Cargill in her WrestleMania debut, teaming up with Naomi and Bianca Belair, going up against Damage Control, Dakota Kai, and the tag team champions Asuka and Kairi Sane. Should be an entertaining women's undercard match. I really don't have too much to say about it. I'm just going to predict that Bianca's team wins. Bianca is in a little bit of a lower profile match than usual, so I really don't see her losing. Plus, it's Jade Cargill's WrestleMania debut. I don't see Jade losing. Unfortunately for Asuka, her losing streak at WrestleMania continues. So, Big G, you're shaking your head. What are your thoughts on this one? I'm going with Jade, Bianca, and Naomi.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going with Jade too. You know, she had a strong showing at the Rumble. I think this right here will show everybody what she's been doing the past couple months, training with Natty and stuff like that, trying to get under the WWE umbrella side of things. And yeah, you know, poor Asuka. This will make her 0-5, 0-6 or something like that. So she's going the opposite direction. But yeah, I'm going with Team EST.
All right, thank you for that. We'll go back to David now. David, your thoughts on this one?
I'm going for Team EST too, I think. But I would have liked a little bit more build-up towards this, I think. I mean, they're taking a bit too long to maybe cement the match, as I just say. I mean, the stacks were always against them, and then all of a sudden it's like they've just put them together because, hey, what can we do with the women's tag team champions? Just put them in a tag team match. I would have liked maybe like a turmoil, similar to, not just the turmoil, but they could have easily done a ladder match as well, I think, for the women's tag team titles. But I understand what they're doing. I mean, they're trying to build Jade, maybe protect Jade a little bit, and then eventually she'll be able to launch herself as a single star, which will probably be the aim of the Mania. But definitely EST will take the win.
Yeah, I'm thinking she just tags in at the end and does her big moves and gets the win. And you know that's basically the whole purpose of this match is to establish Jade Cargill. But Mike, I'll throw it over to you now with your thoughts.
Exactly what you just said right there at the end, Aaron. It's Jade will, and I always forget the girl's name because she was out injured so long. But
Dakota Kai.
Dakota Kai. Jade will put her finisher on Dakota Kai for the win. That protects Damage Control being the tag team champ still, and it puts Jade over at WrestleMania. But Jade and her team will win, and I think Jade does get the pinfall to put, to help escalate her push.
All right, thank you for that, Mike. Greg, I will throw it over to you now.
Right, I'll try not to disappear for the first ever prediction. Clean sweep, I think, is the easiest match to predict. I was looking at today, and obviously Jade's debut. Bianca hasn't lost a match yet at Mania. Asuka hasn't won a match yet, so it's a bit one-sided. I think you're right. Jade will be protected. She'll come in. She'll lift maybe all three of them over it, not at once. She'll lift all three of Damage Control over her head, and Michael Cole will mark out and be like, she's the strongest person in the world. But yeah, she might even stack them like Reigns and just put them all together and just pin them with her foot. I don't know. They want her to look amazing. So comfortable win, and then down the line the tag match will happen and the tag belts will probably be changed. But comfortable win for Bianca and the gang.
All right, TJS, it's all up to you now. Will we get a complete clean sweep?
Yeah, you will, because I don't care about this match. I'm sorry, but I just don't. I really don't see the hype behind Jade Cargill, but that's a topic for another video. I think this match is the house show special. The match is going to end with the three babyfaces hitting their finisher on the three heels, and then Jade will pin probably Dakota since she's not a champion. So not a lot to say about it, but yeah, very easy to predict, very simple. Like you guys said, Jade's team wins.
All right, and now we move on to the Intercontinental Championship match. The Ring General, Gunther, defending. Not sure what the number of days it is at this point, but he's been champion now for almost 2 years. Going up against Sami Zayn. He beat Sami Zayn in 2023, but we're supposed to forget about that. I'm sure this is going to be a great match. Like, it's going to be a hell of a match. I love Sami Zayn. I am disappointed, though, that it's not Gunther versus Brock Lesnar. Obviously, real life comes ahead of this fictional world of wrestling, but it feels like this match was put together because they needed to come up with a new opponent for Gunther. And some people also think it should have been Chad Gable in this spot. Chad Gable has been helping Sami Zayn in the storyline, train for the match, but is there going to be a heel turn? Like, what is going to happen here? Well, Sami Zayn's been talking about needing to have a big moment here and, make up for kind of having a lackluster several months. So what do you guys think on this one? I'm actually kind of torn. Like, I would not be shocked if we have a title change here, but I don't think that Gunther should lose the title to Sami Zayn. I think Gunther should be losing to your next big star that's going to be the future of the company. Somebody like a Braun Breaker or even a Carmelo Hayes. Somebody like that at this point should be beating Gunther. Sami Zayn, love the guy, but he does not need it. Now, I don't necessarily think there's going to be a Chad Gable heel turn. Maybe there's a miscommunication. Gable tries to help and costs Zayn by accident and sets up a feud with them. I don't know, but I am going with Gunther to retain his championship. So, Mike, I will throw it over to you now. Your thoughts on this one?
Gunther better win. What scares me about it is the beatdown Sami has taken the last two television shows. Gunther is just actually it was actually Bronson Reed that destroyed him, but because Gunther came out and got in his head, and then last night, Gunther beat the hell out of him. And typically, when a face takes that type of beating on television, he gets retribution at the pay-per-view. I don't think that does anything for Gunther. I like you said, Braun Breaker would be excellent. If Brock ever comes back, you got to have the belt on Gunther. Gunther is arguably one of the best heels outside of Drew McIntyre right now, and he's a kind of a smart ass. His wrestling is good. Putting it on Sami Zayn makes absolutely no sense. My pick is Gunther, but I am worried about how the last 2 weeks of television went, and putting the IC belt on Sami Zayn makes no sense. So my pick is Gunther.
All right. Thank you for that. Greg, let's throw it over to you now over in London.
Yeah, pretty much what Mike said. I agree. I think this match was meant to be sort of like Gunther, after all this time defending it against an up-and-comer or someone ready for their big WrestleMania moment. Sami had his last year, and I've been saying since the summer, I thought it could have been like LA Knight. And I know he's not a youngster, but to have him have his moment and sort of, he's such a crowd favorite. I know Sami is too, but LA Knight is probably just that little bit hotter. It would have been a cracking result to beat Gunther and break his record. And I think this could have been the night. But because it's Sami, I'm going with a Gunther retain. And it just sets him up for the European shows going forward. Actually, is he allowed to leave America?
Yeah, he can at this point. I think he couldn't for Elimination Chamber, but I think for the upcoming shows, he'll be able to.
I was going to say, otherwise he's got a long summer ahead because they're going all over the place. But yeah, Gunther to retain. Sami, Michael's right. He doesn't need the belt right now. It's like he can have that feud with Gable. If Gable turns, they can have some cracking matches, some great matches over the next few months. And I reckon Gunther retains, but then the next potential big person that might come up on Raw after Mania will challenge Gunther, and that'll be maybe the person who takes it off of him. So, because I think he needs that belt off of him before he gets to Berlin in the summer. So a retain for Gunther, and yeah, there you go.
All right. We got a lot of typing here between the Rocket and TJS in this live stream. So thank you guys for your soundtrack. TJS, you want to share with us what you were typing about?
Yeah, what were you talking about?
I'm like the high school teacher putting you on notice here.
I was just writing my theory about this match. That's all.
Okay, well, let's hear it.
Okay, so
Share with the class.
I think this is Aaron. You convinced me to make this match more difficult than what I thought it was going to be, because originally I was like, "Oh, this is easy. Gunther just wins." But no, I mean, this is. I'm not saying that he doesn't win, but it's complicated because Sammy had his big moment last year, like you guys said, and I think WWE needs to be careful about how many WrestleMania moments that they do with the baby faces winning. Example, WrestleMania 35, we had Seth win, we had Kofi win, and we had Becky win, all the faces. And I don't think they're going to do that again. So I want to say that Gunther wins, but Sammy looks like a total chump. He keeps losing, and he even has Chad Gable training him. Is he still going to lose? We got the montage on Raw. Aaron, do you know about the montage? So
Montage.
yes, yes. I have to go.
It's
with
tough.
Sammy. I have to go.
Whoa!
I'm going with Sammy because he would look like a complete chump if he lost. So that's my pick. I'm going with Sammy. I don't
All right,
like it.
Sami Zayn.
Yeah, I don't like it, but I think Gunther needs to be freed up soon because he has to lose that IC title if he ever plans to go for the world one.
Yeah, well, we got a lot of shows coming up. We got the show Backlash in France. We got the new event, which is another Clash at the Castle, but that was just added to the lineup. We got Money in the Bank. We got SummerSlam. So he's got 4 shows he can lose that title at before the Berlin show. And let's go.
You know what?
Yeah,
Aaron, I'm going back. I think Gunther because I just thought of it. It does not. I don't think that Chad is going to turn heel. I think Sammy's going to turn heel. I think Sammy is going to snap and just go crazy on Chad Gable, saying like, "Oh, you said that I was ready." Blah 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 blah. I know Sammy was just a heel in the bloodline, but was he really? He was getting cheered. I think this time Sammy is going full blown heel, and I'm going with Gunther to win. And that's my final pick. I'm sticking to it.
Okay. Before we get to the Rockets predictions, Jeremy sent in a $2 super chat. Thank you for that. He says, requirements for a Rift Aronson appearance. If Mike can tell me who Rift Aronson is, then I'll let you know what the requirement is. Mike, do you know who Rift Aronson is?
I thought he just flipped your name. I have no idea. I have no idea who it is.
Well, then, there you go. I'm not telling you what the requirements are until Mike knows who Rift Aronson is. If Mike doesn't know who Rift Aronson is, then as far as I'm concerned, nobody deserves to know who Rift Aronson is. So there you go. All right. Let's throw it over to the Rocket now with your thoughts.
Okay, so either way, I think the build-up hasn't been great, admittedly. I mean, I don't think it does Sammy any favors. It just makes him look like a rookie. And like Chad is like the pro, like it's back to those early NXT shows that were horrendous. But besides that, I think Gunther needs to win here. And I dare say one thing. Gunther retains here, open challenge in Raw, and he loses the title in Raw.
Oh yeah, and Raw after Mania, it's going to be a hot crowd. I hope they bring back the atmosphere.
The shit show they did last year.
Yeah, like the Raw after Mania hasn't been too good in a while. Big G, are you going to the Raw after Mania?
No, I'm gonna be driving back home. My
wife
wants to see that clips.
And see, that's the thing. Like the Raw after Mania has been so lackluster that you're not gonna stay in Philadelphia for it. Like it's embarrassing. They gotta bring the Raw after Mania back to its glory. But anyways, that's a whole other topic. Big G, everyone's going with Gunther. Are you going to be the one odd man out?
I mean, I'm getting like Rocky vibes from this. They are in Philly. You got Rocky Balboa. The whole montage yesterday. Gable training Sami Zayn. I'm getting Rocky IV vibes here. The American versus the heel European. But I'm gonna go with Gunther to retain. I mean, Sammy's been IC champion 3 times already in the past, if I'm not mistaken. 2 or 3 times. I can't remember the exact number. But, Gunther's reign has been long. And I think if they do a good Raw after Mania, that he'll, whoever just said, or what Dave just said, that there'll be an open challenge and he'll lose it there. Or he'll lose it. He'll hold onto it until Bash in Berlin and Germany and lose it in Germany. So.
All right. Thank you for that, Big G. Yeah, Mike?
Quick question to the you insiders. How come he can't leave the country? I never heard that.
Yeah, just, visa stuff. He could not travel to Australia for Elimination Chamber, but they're in the process of sorting that out. I'm not sure what the status of that is actually, but, they do have Bash at Berlin coming up, so he should definitely be good to go for that. But, yeah, just... Yeah, because he was living in Europe for a while and then moved to the United States once he started becoming more of a regular on WWE television. But anyways,
I think they have a work visa here in the States, and then he has to do all the paperwork and stuff like that.
Yeah, so it's just a matter of getting that all straightened out. But anyways, let's get to the main event of the evening, the biggest tag team match in, dare I say, wrestling history. I mean, this is a blockbuster match, and what I love about it is that it is a full circle from the first WrestleMania. The first WrestleMania was headlined by Hulk Hogan and Mr. T against Roddy Piper and Paul Orndorff. So here we are, almost 40 years later, for the 40th WrestleMania. We are back at it with a tag team match, main eventing the show. The Rock, in his first match in what they're calling 8 years. I really don't consider that match with Eric Rowan to count. So really, it's been like 11 years since The Rock's last match. The Rock, the final boss, teaming up with Roman Reigns against Seth freaking Rollins, the World Heavyweight Champion, and the #1 contender to Roman Reigns' title, Cody Rhodes. And the stipulation, if Cody's team wins, no bloodline interference for night 2 when Cody challenges Roman Reigns. However, if Rock and Roman win, it's bloodline rules on night 2. So, Styles Clash 619 sent in a $2 super chat. I forgot to mention this. He says, maybe Gable costs Sami Zayn the title, which I did mention. I think a couple of us did. Yeah. Could be intentional. Maybe it'll be an accident. Like, it doesn't necessarily have to be on purpose. Maybe there's some kind of miscommunication, but I could certainly see that playing out. Anyways, thank you for that, Styles Clash. Let's get to the tag match here. I'm really excited for this one. I'm looking forward to seeing what The Rock does. And, people are saying, he's going to be terrible in the ring. But if you think of Hulk Hogan versus The Rock at WrestleMania 18, it was the atmosphere. That's what made that match special. And I think that's going to be the deal here. Rock's probably not going to do a whole lot. I'm guessing Roman will be in there 75% of the time. But Rock will come in, do some stuff. He'll taunt the fans. He'll trash talk. It'll be entertaining. And this match is going to be very entertaining to see how it plays out. Big G, we'll start with you first on this one and get your thoughts on this match. You're going to be there live. You're going to get to see The Rock in person. What are your thoughts on this match?
This match is one of the biggest matches in WrestleMania history. It is also full circle, going back to the Royal Rumble in 2015 in Philly when Roman and Rock were together at the end of that pay-per-view. But yeah, you want, after the past two, after yesterday and the ass whooping that Cody took last week Monday, you would want the faces to win, but I'm going with Roman and Rock to win here. That way we get bloodline rules on Sunday night. That way anything goes, and we'll see. And hopefully that'll be a whole different story. But yeah, this should be a fun match. I think The Rock's going to surprise us. I think he's going to do a little bit more than 25%. I think it's going to be like 50-50. They'll both be in there for quite a bit of time. Just hopefully The Rock doesn't injure himself like the last WrestleMania he was at WrestleMania 29. But yeah, I'm going with Rock and Roman to win here. And I'm loving this heel Rock, by the way. I am loving it.
Absolutely. Now, Big G, we're doing the point for the Money in the Bank too, because Damian Priest, he has multiple opportunities at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Both nights he could theoretically cash in. So call it night one, Saturday night.
Night one.
No cash in. No cash in on night one, because some people think that could be the finish here. All right. Greg, let's throw it over to you now and get your thoughts on this one.
Yeah, this is going to be amazing. As I said at the beginning of the preview, I think, we're going to get them all in the ring, and then we're going to have like a Rock Hogan situation where everyone's going to be going mad and they're just going to be all staring at each other before they've even started fighting. So it's going to be that good. I think Rock's going to be very good in the ring. Like, he'll work slow. He might, walk around the ring, be beating Cody, like let Reigns do the work first, come in, beat Cody down a little bit, and Seth, and he'll work slow, and he can go at his own pace, and he'll still look good. He's an athlete as well. Like he keeps fit, he works out a lot, so I don't think he'll be fine. He's been training for this match probably for a couple months already, so I don't think we should worry too much. Plus, he's the only one working one night, so he can go all out in a way, and he doesn't have to worry about night two. So I was looking at this and thinking they're not going to have two. I don't want to give away my night two prediction, but they're not going to have two happy endings for both nights. And I think if Seth and Cody win and they have just a one-on-one match, no bloodline on night two, and Cody still doesn't win, it pretty much ends his career as like a top star, because if he gets beat clean by Reigns, who doesn't beat anyone clean at the minute, it doesn't look very good going forward for Cody. So I'm going with Rock and Roman to win, because we're going to get Bloodline Rules night two, and I think that's when we get absolute pandemonium for the main event of night two. Like literally, I don't know who's not going to get involved. I've heard the rumors about two certain stars that might get involved. And if they do, amazing, great. It'll blow. Well, there's no roof on this place, but it'll make the crowd go crazy. Rock and Roman to win. I've no idea who's going to take the pinfall. I'm guessing Seth, and if he does, it might be because of Drew, because I think Drew's going to be there somehow to set up the second night, cost him the match, so Seth's like ready to kick Drew's ass for night two. Then it gives it something, protects Cody as well. And I'm not too sure who might get the pin. Maybe The Rock. So he just can be like, there you go, Roman, I've done you a favor. Now good luck on night two.
I mean, that is a possibility with Drew McIntyre. I think we're going to see the Bloodline win this one. I think it's going to be Bloodline Rules on night two. That's the only thing that really makes sense to me, that they're going to stack the deck against Cody as much as possible. So I'm going with Rock and Roman Reigns to win on night one, and I think Rock is going to pin Cody. That's my prediction. I think Cody's actually going to take the fall. And that way, later this year, The Rock can say that he pinned Cody and he'll get his title match with Cody, whether it's SummerSlam or sometime later this year. We got to get that one-on-one match, I think. And I'm saying this right now. I don't think Rock is turning on Roman Reigns on either night of WrestleMania. I don't think it's going to happen, nor do I think it should. I think we need heel Rock for at least another 6 months or so, or maybe until early 2024. But TJS, let's throw it over to you now and get your thoughts on this match.
Well, I think we can all agree that this is going to be a long match. This is going to be a long segment. The entrances are going to be like half an hour alone. Yeah, I think that you're right, Aaron. I think that The Rock is going to pin Cody, and because we have to get Rock versus Cody at some point now. But I think that there's going to be a lot of slow working, like you guys also mentioned. Reigns has gotten to where he works kind of slow, puts in headlock for a little bit. I think we're going to get some of that. A lot of rest holds, and it's going to be long. I'm hoping that the crowd isn't deflated by then, but
They won't be. It's The Rock. They're
Okay.
not going to be quiet.
That's true. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna be very sad when The Rock leaves, if he, because eventually he's not gonna be showing up every week anymore. I'm gonna be sad when that happens, but I'm gonna enjoy this match, and I'm gonna enjoy the Bloodline beating Cody and Seth. Like you said, Aaron, Rock pins Cody, and as much as they can stack the deck against Cody, that's what they're gonna do. So yeah, I think Jimmy Uso can even come out at the end, and Bloodline is on top. They're throwing up the ones, and then Michael Cole says, "Well, this be the fate of Cody Rhodes tomorrow night." So I think, yeah, heels win over a very game Seth and Cody.
And I presume no on Priest cash in.
No cash in. No, he should have cashed in
Greg-
last night. The fool.
Greg, no on the Priest cash in.
No, because Priest has no interest in that, clearly, because he's too busy just arguing with his own group. Like, my God, what a dumbass! But yeah, he won't do either night. I think the only night I can see is maybe on Raw. That's the only night I can see. Let Cody have his potential moment on Sunday if he does the job, and then he'll ruin Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with Priest. I have a theory, but that'll be for the night 2 predictions. The Rock's Jockstrap sent in a $2 super chat, says Jabroni virgins disrespected Rock, make Cody lose. There you have it. Thank you, Rock's Jockstrap, for that $2 super chat. All right, Rocket, let's get your thoughts on this one.
Well, though I think this match is going to be epic is not even the word for it, to be honest. I think it's going to be one of those matches we're going to talk about for a long time, considering the build-up. I'm here for heel Rock, and I like TJS rightfully said, I'm hoping he is for the long haul, because I think I've gotten so used to seeing him every week that I want it to continue. It's one of those matches where we're going to talk about for a long time, guys, I think. And one of those, just the mere fact we talked about it before, from the press conference to the moment they're going to be stepping in the ring together, just the entrances alone as well, that's going to be the build up for it, even whilst they're entering the ring, is going to be fun for all of us. I'm going to go for Rock and Roman, because I think it makes a lot of sense. If they were to win Bloodline rules, anything goes. Like we all rightfully said, stacked against Cody, he overcomes the odds, and if he beats Roman, great. Even if he doesn't, but I think Cody needs to win this win more than ever. But that match, I think The Rock is going to be as active as he possibly can. I mean, just even if he does his usual trash talking from the apron, people just going to be, they're here for it, and it's here to stay. So I'm hoping Rock and Roman win, and then obviously night 2, completely different story, but no pun intended. But I just think it's going to be one of those where it's going to be exciting from start to finish. They're just going to have the graphic on the screen with the builds up, and just watching the builds up, which has been a long build up because it's felt like forever. Just watching how much has happened since that press conference, the match itself is going to be I just say, what has made WWE again exciting. Not that it hasn't been exciting, mind you, for the last year and a half, but it's been so exciting to watch every week in, week out. And like you rightfully said, Aaron, last week when you gave last week's Raw an A+, the show is good when you don't even have to fast forward anything. Obviously, because I watch on say delay, but keep that in mind. But the show's good when you don't fast forward anything. And I was gripped to the show from start to finish. And I think it's been like that for week in, week out. And that match has a lot to do with it, but so does the rest of the pod from both nights. But this match is going to be beyond everyone's wildest dreams, and it's going to be one that we're going to talk about for years to come.
Yeah, I think the crowd heat is going to be Hulk Hogan The Rock level from WrestleMania 18. It's going to be fire. Yes, goosebumps, as Big G points out. Shout out to Styles Clash 619 who sent in $5. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Says, got to be a ref bump or distraction of some sort. Maybe Solo Sikoa gets another Samoan spike in like last year. I mean, yeah, Solo Sikoa, Jimmy Uso, Jey Uso. Maybe he reunites with the Bloodline. I mean, any number of things could happen in this match. And David, so this is again no on the Priest cash in.
I'm definitely going for no for the cash in. I would explain why, but I could easily save that for night 2. Should I give my prediction as to what I think could happen?
What do you think is going to happen?
I do think because Drew obviously cost him the last time in cashing in, so I do feel that maybe Drew could win the title and he cashes in on Drew. That maybe.
Well, we'll talk about
going
that.
into Scotland. Drew could easily be a babyface again.
Absolutely, we'll talk about that on the night 2 predictions. But that's a great prediction. I could definitely see that. All right, so Mike, you're last to go here on this match. Huge tag team match. Lots of implications for night 2. What do you think is going to happen?
I'm going to be the odd man out here. I think Seth and Cody win.
Wow.
And Seth pins Rock. I don't think Roman's going to get pinned 2 nights in a row. I hope I'm wrong on night 2 because I really want the streak to continue. I don't think Cody should finish his story. Unfortunately, I think he will. But even if there's not, you could still work other things. Like I said, Jay could do something. Seth could turn a la the Shield, this, that, or the other thing. So you can have interference without bloodline rules. And if Cody's going to truly finish his story to beat Roman during bloodline rules, I think shit's all over the Roman Reigns title era. I think that's absolutely crazy to have Roman Reigns lose bloodline rules so Cody can finish his story. Now, if he beats him straight up and beats him clean, that's fine. But to have him lose a bloodline rules match, I think is absolutely horrible. I actually hope Roman Reigns wins. Wow. I'm not a huge Cody Rhodes fan. He's over, and I like the entrance music, and he's good with the kids and everything. And I'm not anti-Cody. I don't think he should finish the story. Ernie Banks never won a World Series. I know you don't know who Ernie Banks is, Aaron, just like I don't know who Riff Aronson is. But I think I don't see how you can have Cody win in bloodline rules. I think that's absolutely horrible booking. You got to beat him clean to finish your story if you're going to finish your story. So I'm going Cody, Seth pins The Rock. No on the cash in, but wouldn't it be the greatest swerve? And I think they would destroy Lincoln Financial Field. After the tag match, Priest cashes in and takes Seth's title, and then the Drew Seth match isn't even a title match. I think they'd burn the stadium down.
Philly would go crazy.
That's what I mean.
Philly would go bonkers.
I do think he'll cash in on night 2, but not on night 1. But I think that would be a huge swerve that the Drew Seth match isn't even a title match.
Or maybe a triple threat.
Yeah. I did see in the comments, one person said I was crazy and another person said I was spot on. So I guess it depends on what side of the spectrum you look at.
Yeah. Well, I think Virtue is going to give you a lifelong invitation to be on the No DQ review after those comments. We do have a super chat here. The Rock's Jock Strap sent in $2. Great username. Says, just do Rock versus Cody at next year WrestleMania. Bigger match. Well, they got to do Rock versus Roman Reigns, I think, at WrestleMania 41. But I'd love to see Rock versus Cody at SummerSlam or sometime later this year. I mean, they got to do Rock versus Cody, just a matter of when. But
I know The Rock is doing another movie here in the next couple of months again. So
yeah, so it's a lot of its timing. But yeah, I think we got to get Rock versus Roman also. I mean, we really got to get both of those matches at some point. But yeah, I feel like Rock and Roman has to be WrestleMania 41. All right, so there you have it. WrestleMania Night 1 predictions. completed. We got night 2 coming up. Let's go ahead and do our plugs. Thank you to everyone for watching. Thank you to the panel for being part of this. Greg, we had a couple of technical difficulties, but thank you for sticking out with us. And I believe you'll be back on Thursday, so maybe it'll be a little bit better then. Greg, anything you want to plug or promote?
No, just thank you for having me, and obviously very excited for the weekend. Yes, I will try to be back on Thursday. Obviously, you're doing it even later, right? So appreciate that, Aaron. But I'm just getting ready for both nights of Mania, so great. But yeah, yeah, I might as well just not sleep this week. You know, I'm trying to figure out when I'm going to sleep this week because I work as well. So I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to sleep from now until Monday. But yeah, I'll figure it out. And thanks for having me on. Nothing to promote. I have Twitter and stuff, but X or whatever. But I'm not on there spouting too much hate for what Punk says or anything like that. So don't worry. But hopefully see you guys Thursday. And yeah, let's get going.
All right, thank you for that. And also, David, thank you for being on way out there in Europe. Anything you would like to plug or promote?
Okay, so coming up, I've got a article which I think will be very interesting because it's something that I feel a lot of fans have been speculating about, and something that maybe WWE should implement considering it's partnered up with UFC. How about WWE eventually starts a fight wing, or like in the WWE Hall of Fame, similar to what the UFC have? I'd love to see what people think, what matches should be if WWE were to start a fight wing. I've made up a list of 10 matches I feel should be there, from importance to why they should be there in the first place. I'll be very flattered if people were to let us know what matches should be on there before it actually gets published, but maybe we agree or disagree on some matches, but there's some matches that should be on there. Second plug, I want to give a big shout out to my son because he's going to stay up for WrestleMania just to watch The Rock, by the way. The Rock is his favorite wrestler. No, he's not a big fan of The Rock, and afterwards it's Cody now. But I mean,
so he's not gonna cry then, you know, if The Rock does something violent.
I mean, he watched the beatdown last week and just said, "So why didn't people call the cops?" That's all he said. But that's about it. But he understood. He understands the logic of the business. So, I mean, I think, it's going to be, the build-up to Mania has been great when your 9-year-old son, who barely watches any wrestling at all, is looking forward to it. So, I think big shout-out to him. Big shout-out to all of you. Aaron, no DQ, always very loyal, very grateful to be a part of it. So, just keep sticking to no DQ, guys, because the feedback, the channel, it keeps us going to what we do.
Appreciate that. TJS, go ahead with your plug.
It's been a fun one, guys. Yeah, looking forward to WrestleMania. Going to be a good show. It honestly feels good to go into these videos knowing the match cards at least. Triple H knew that we were going to do these predictions, so I went ahead and called in a favor. Got those put in.
I want to say I do want to go out on a limb. I do feel they actually follow my tweets because most of the predictions are made for the Hall of Fame have come true. So
nice, yeah, okay, yeah. So yeah, I mean, my handle's below. You can see it right there below my initials, which are TJS, and that's it. I mean, the last. I just had a question. Has anyone, Aaron specifically, have you watched that Bray Wyatt documentary yet?
Not yet. I'm behind. I gotta watch that. I gotta watch the Roman Reigns documentary.
Me too.
Yeah, me too. I've been away, so
just have some tissues nearby you at the end of Bray Wyatt's.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Big G, are you the only one here that's seen it? Anyone else?
I still haven't seen it. I've been away, so
I'm gonna check it out once we finish up here.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
And I've got it queued up to watch, which I'll probably do at some time tomorrow night, I think.
Yeah, it's probably time for bed for you and Greg.
It's been bedtime. It's almost bedtime for me when I'm here on the East Coast. All right, Mike, let's go ahead and get your predictions.
Coffee helps.
My predictions.
See, I told you I'm tired, guys. I'm ready for bed. I can't even think straight here. Your plugs.
All right, just the only same as usual. I won't be on Thursday because we do our podcast on Flights, Football, and anything else available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Thursday night, Friday morning. Go to Facebook. I'm trying to finish my story like Cody, so with a certain number of followers. But thanks again for having me on. It was a lot of fun. And I won't be able to do Thursday because, like I say, the podcast. And where did you say you could? Where is that article to find on the matches to go in the Hall of Fame? Where did you say to find that?
It's going to be a no DQ.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll let you know when it's up, so you can check it out. But anyways, thank you, Mike. Appreciate you being on, and Big Baller G, you'll be there once again. We'll throw it up real quick. We did plug you earlier, but we'll do it again because you're one of the veterans of the No DQ channel. There you have it. Any last words?
Those are my social handles. You can follow me there. I'm going to share the event on Facebook again and on X, and I'll tag Aaron in it. That way he can share it. Sunday, April 7th, 1 p.m. at Xfinity Live Center is where we will have the No DQ meetup.
All right, sounds good. And I hope you have a great time. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your week. And we will be back Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, with Night 2 predictions. So we'll have some of the panel members on, some new ones. It's going to be a fun time. Tune in for that. And, of course, I got lots of streams coming up as we continue on WrestleMania season, on the final road to WrestleMania. Take care, everybody. Have a great rest of your week. Like I said,
Peace.
Say yes to No DQ. Buy a shirt, nodq.com/merch, and we will see you all next time.